blue chart is meant for boys and is the head circumference for age and weight for length percentile chart. For example, if the boy's head circumference is 34 centimeters at birth, a mark will be made here. If by age 3 months, this boy's head circumference is now 39.6, another mark will be made here. And then these 2 points can be joined to determine the pattern of the head circumference. Looking at this curve is very close to the 25th percentile, because if you trace this curve to the right side, you see that it coincides with the 25th percentile. And since it is still within the normal range, it means that the head circumference is normal. This child has normal nutritional status and is growing well. But if for any reason by age 6 months, this child's head circumference is at 41. If at 6 months, the head circumference is at 41 centimeters, then the head circumference is not following the normal pattern. And that means that the brain is not growing appropriately. There has to be a quick intervention for this child to be helped. If at birth, the child's head circumference is 38 centimeters and at 3 months is 43 centimeters, at 6 months is 46 centimeters, that child's head circumference, if you join the 3 lines together, the child's head circumference is above the 98th percentile, and if it continues to go above it like that, that child has to be monitored for macrocephaly, because it's possible that there is a disease going on in the brain that is making the head bigger than expected. On the other hand, if the child's head circumference at birth is 31 centimeters, if the child's head circumference at birth is 31 centimeters and it by 3 months is 37 centimeters, if you join the 2 lines, the child's head circumference is below the 2nd percentile, is below normal. That child has microcephaly, and that's an abnormal situation that also needs attention. And then finally, the weight for length chart. The weight for length chart. In this case, the length of the child is measured and the weight is also measured to determine the nutritional status. This chart is usually very important for situations where one cannot ascertain the age of the child, or if the child is underweight and we want to find out what kind of undernutrition is the child experiencing. If, for example, if you pick this boy and his length is 60 centimeters, while the weight is 6 kilograms. 60 centimeters goes like this, and then 6 kilograms, that means a point will be marked here. If at 80 centimeters, maybe later on, the child is now 80 centimeters and the weight is now 10.2 centimeters. Then after joining these two points to form a curve, we are going to obtain a line that looks like this. And then we'll look at what is the closest percentile to this curve. If we trace this curve till the end, the percentile that corresponds with our curve is the 50th percentile. And we can say that since 50th is within the normal range, this child has normal weight for length, the child is not wasted. But if the child is picked later and at 90 centimeters, the child weight is now 11 kilograms. Then that means we're going to join the line, join the 2 points to form a line that looks like this. And this 90 centimeter, 11 kilogram is not following the curve that is expected for the pattern that this child has started following. And that means there's a growth faltering. So this growth faltering that shows that the weight is too low for the height is called wasting. It's a sign of acute nutritional problem. That means the problem has just occurred. The child has grown up to the normal length, but has recently lost weight, maybe because of an infectious disease or any other problem. For this child who has followed this pattern of curve, if his length is 90 centimeter and his weight is 11 centimeter, the line that joins the 80 centimeter and 90 centimeter points will look like this. And that line or the curve is no longer following the expected pattern. It means that there is a faltering, there's a growth faltering. And this faltering means that the weight, the weight is less for the height. It's not meeting up with the expected weight, and that is wasting. It means that the child has attained a certain height, but the weight that the child now weighs, what the child weighs at this moment, does not correspond with that length, and is a sign of an acute problem. It means it has just occurred. It's not a chronic form of malnutrition, it's an acute form of malnutrition, and there has to be an urgent intervention so that this child will not have complications. And I've just talked about the growth monitoring charts. It's important that whenever a child presents at the health center or the health facility, before age 2, that child's height, weight, head circumference should be measured and plotted on the appropriate chart for boy or girl.